Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppets. Today, joined by
Brewed.
NOMyces, checking out some more Omnipollo beer from their recent release of thicker sounding beers. At least from what we've heard from people and what we tried with Carême or Carême.
We don't know what it's called.
Fantastic, whatsoever. But we got this one to try today that we got on Beer Dome. So thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Link for the shop is down below. They still have a few Omnipollo stuff left from that release, and they got some new stuff as well if you want to try some of the pastry sours and whatnot they put out. And they just got that huge load of American beer too.
Yeah.
But today we're checking out the Omnipollo 4 Roses Barrel Aged Noa.
Yeah.
With coconut.
Yeah.
Noa never had coconut, but this has.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this is Carême, the base, just in a different barrel, but then without vanilla and with the
chocolate,
the Noa treatment.
Yeah.
Because Noa is made with flavorings, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
It's supposed to taste like mud
flavorings,
cake,
at least
pecan
the
nut
nuts.
cake or something like that.
Yeah. I think the nuts are flavorings.
Brett and I used to be huge advocates of Noa back in the day.
Yeah.
I reviewed the double barrel Noa before it went sour. We reviewed the.
I went mad about that beer too before it went
sour. It
sour
was nuts.
and infected.
I think Omnipollo was the first brewery to do pastry stouts in Europe where they really blew my mind. But then I got sick of the style and flavorings, and now we're back to real ingredients. And Omnipollo is doing that. I love that they're actually also doing that and listening to people and listening to the people who drink the beer. It's fantastic. They still do all the crazy flavored stuff, and there's a big market for it. Of course, they're going to keep doing it.
Especially the Biancas.
Yeah, but now they're also doing this, which is more, I guess for its smaller releases, more for a really nerdy audience that's also willing to pay because it costs more to make
it's
than
very
using
expensive.
flavorings. It's more expensive to throw in a shit ton of real vanilla beans and coconut and whatever than it is to buy a coconut or vanilla flavoring.
Yeah.
But 14% this one, also stronger than regular Noa.
I remember an interesting thing when we tasted the Dutch Noa versus the Swedish Noa, and that was that the Swedish Noa contained real vanilla beans.
Yeah.
That was a big difference.
Yeah.
And I generally remember the Dugas brewed one as being quite a lot better than the Mullen brewed one. So, and this is from Dugas.
This is from Dugas.
Yeah.
So pours a thick-looking black color. It looks a lot like Carême, just without
completely pancaked.
Yeah, and just without coagulated protein lumps like in Carême.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't contain. You sense maybe just a bit of like a coconut flake thing, but it's very, very faint and fine.
Even like their new brewery, by the way, in the church is made for making beers like this.
Yeah.
Like they had a custom-built breweries for making crazy mashings.
Yeah, but also lagers.
Yeah.
I think it's for lagers and crazy barrel-aged beers.
You can do lagers also on a crazy barrel-aged beer system, I guess, but it's from Balkan, and they're famous for making, great brew houses, and they, a lot of brewers that make a lot of lager, like Ibertoft, they have a Balkan system, but this was just made with a custom-made mash tun or something like that, so you could mash even more grain to make like crazy big mashes.
Okay.
But it's really fucking cool, but it's still gonna be a bitch to brew because doing all these crazy beers like this, brewing them are nuts.
From what I've understood, it's mostly lagers and crazy barrel-aged beers they're going to do in that church.
It's such a different approach compared to what Omnipollo has done in the past. But let's check this one out. So it looks really nice, as we said. Pitch black, not much
pancaked.
Pancake completely, but it's thick. Yeah. It is thick.
It's the coconut and maybe a thick base. We don't know.
We'll find out. Let's check out the aroma.
Oh, yes.
It smells like Noa. Exactly, but with with a much richer base.
Yeah.
This smells so much like a Angry Chair beer to me.
Yeah.
It is like so intense and sweet, and like this is total pastry, but it's pastry done right. Yeah. It's like the base is there to support it, but it smells
lots of caramel sauce.
Yeah, totally.
From probably the barrel.
Loads of like hazelnut
and just caramelized coconut.
Yeah.
Like again, drummy.
I think it's more like a ice cream swirl, like a vanilla ice cream swirl to this.
Okay.
It smells, very similar to the flavored Omnipollos, just a bit more deep.
Yeah.
And then with a real kind of coconut vibe.
Yeah. Again, one thing I thought about
was so much like an Angry Chair beer, man. Holy shit.
I just thought about, does it still contain like flavorings?
I think it does. It smells it does.
Yeah. But then because it smells like real coconut. But it has like a nutty flavoring thing about it underneath that is Noa.
My only problem with it is I don't really smell the barrel. It just smells like really crazy pastry sweet and intense. And it's nice, but it's just the barrel that's present might just be caramel vibes from.
Yeah, I think it's more that caramelized thing, caramelized coconut or, I think it gives off that, but I don't smell, like straight up barrel character per se.
Aroma wise, I prefer Carême, but let's see with the taste. I mean, it smells like classic Noa, and I still really enjoy Noa once in a while, but I just don't like these really flavored stouts anymore.
But I think it's mostly coconut and this caramelized thing, and then underneath you have that.
Yeah, I think it stands out a lot too. Still, the classic Noa notes, like that crazy nutty, chocolatey, caramelly.
It's definitely there, but
hazelnutty. Let's try it.
Yeah,
smells nice though. Cheers! And thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Man, it tastes like chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It is exactly like this is so much like Angry Chair. Holy shit.
Yeah. It really is.
It reminds me of something like a coconut version of the German chocolate cupcake stout.
Yeah.
It's much better, and it's actually got roast profile.
I don't taste that much of the adjuncts flavorings, to be honest. It is a bit there, but I'm mostly tasting the coconut and maybe some base chocolate kind of thing.
I'm tasting a lot of that and like lots of like a caramel kind of thing. Oh, there we have. That was a chunk.
It's thick like most coconut imperial stouts that have masses of coconut in them. And caramel sauce.
It reminds me a lot of like a thicker version of Noa or maybe a Yellow Belly or something like that. It's so thick. Yeah. And the barrel is more there on the flavor, but I don't think it's like crazy pronounced because there's still a lot of like adjunct flavor. So what I'm getting from the barrel is like caramel and fudge, but not like... I'm not getting
a distinct barrel character.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the same level of depth.
No,
I think even though it's probably aged in a long time, but it's fantastic. Yeah. But nowadays, Angry Chair, as I said, it reminds me of Angry Chair. It's really fun. It's really good. But nowadays, Angry Chair wouldn't be my go-to going for crazy stouts and stuff. There's other breweries that I like more, mainly because like they're also sweet. This is also very sweet, but I don't think it's too sweet.
So it has a bit of like a roastiness in it, just a touch,
and it has a touch of umami on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly licoricey.
And for some reason, I've talked about it before, umami just kind of goes hand in hand with coconut for some reason.
It does. But this is also...
Maybe because of that Asian kitchen, where you like to combine coconut with something that's a bit more savory and just umami rich.
But this just tastes like, Noa, but version 2.0.
Yeah.
It's like a ramped up Noa that's just more intense and more flavors to it, just more everything, and it's just like, it's not as fake tasting. Again, there is a base to hold everything up. It reminds me a lot of Angry Chair, or maybe to some extent also Three Sons. Because they also, what Three Sons does, which is also what I really like, and I know Omnipollo also does that in some beers. It is. They use a little bit of flavoring to boost the actual adjunct. And it is quite thick, and it's really sticky, and it's really sweet. And I think the caloric value on this is also very high.
Insane. Yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
It is really nice.
I would definitely, not definitely, but I would like some more barrel character.
100%. And Carême had that. That's why.
Yeah, that was had also, more barrel character.
It was also not crazy pronounced on Carême. It was not as pronounced.
And it doesn't have it didn't have any flavorings.
No.
It only contained
vanilla and coconut.
Exactly, and that's why I probably also liked Andromeda the most, because I think the vanilla in Carême kind of...
It's a bit more dark fruity.
Yeah. I just think Andromeda was a bit more dense and deep and sludgy and from just the base and the coconut.
But this still shows that Omnipollo still got it. They can still make fantastic barrel aged. I'd say it's early world class barrel aged stout, and this is like pastry stout I can get behind because there's a base beer that's crazy intense and rich and powerful. I think for a lot of people it might be too sweet, but I don't think
again, it's
it
higher
has
rated than the other ones we've talked about. So
yeah, but I don't look at ratings too often anymore.
No.
It's it's got a nice amount of umami and also some roasted malt on the back to balance out, so it's not like too sweet. I'm gonna go 95. I think it's early world class. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
But I like Crème more. I thought Crème was like a small version of the Sacrifice, which I think is better than both of these. But this is just really fucking great early world class barrel aged pastry stout in the style of say Three Sons or Anchorage.
Yeah.
Anchorage. I mentioned a ton of times.
Also, Anchorage.
Not Anchorage,
yeah,
but
Anchorage. Yeah. But I wouldn't say Anchorage is far away because it's quite sweet. But I would
sweet,
say
and it also
Anchorage
really
just
extreme.
has a much more pronounced barrel character.
Yes, and then also it just had. I feel like they have more layers of complexity.
Yeah, a bit more oomph from the
because there's
base.
a difference between sweetness that's just sweet and also sweetness that's complex, especially in these beers. Because a lot of times, it's just like sweet on sweet. Yeah. But you get sweetness from, of course, the residual sugar, but there's the complexity of different. Like if you just talk about complexity of sweetness, if we just talk about sugar, if you eat white sugar, it's really sweet. It's not complex.
No.
If you eat brown sugar, it's got a little bit more complexity.
Yeah.
And then if you eat, I was about to do this. If you eat Muscovado sugar, it's even more complex.
Yeah.
So there's, sweetness has complexity too. But I just feel like, it's really fun good. And if you love the cupcake chocolate stout from Anchorage, you'll love this as well. Yeah. And you might like it even more than me. And I still think it's, as I said, early world class. It's, I think a lot of Noa variants reviewed over the years going back would probably be lower.
And we gave one 100.
Yeah, I wouldn't give any of those probably 100 now, but they'd be around. I don't know. For the reference back then, it's also
we don't know because we aren't sitting with
the beers, and it was a different time and all this. Right now, I'm just really enjoying it, but I'm not like I love this. I just think it's early world class and fantastic.
I think it's really good, but I wouldn't go above a 95. I think again Cameo was maybe a 96, and I think Andromeda was at least a 97, 98. I think that beer was really,
96.
Yeah, but I just think Andromeda was a step above both of these. But again, I really appreciate the, effort. And
I love that they're doing this, and this just shows awesome promise for what they're going to churn out.
It's still a very good Imperial Stout.
95 is world class, man, so it is great. Henok, you're doing great, and you and the team are doing fantastic. And I'm looking forward to follow you guys in the new year. And
it's in Omnipollo style,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And to see what's going on with their church and everything. It will be so fun to follow. So, if you guys had a chance to try the Omnipollo Noa Pecan Mud Cake 4 Roses Barrel Aged with a coconut, let us know what you thought of it. Thanks to the Beer Dome for the beer. It's gone from Beer Dome now, but check them out.
You can find it other places.
Yeah, and they also just got, as I said, more Omnipollo stuff if you want to check out Beer Dome. So link for their shops down below. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers.
In diabetes.
And diabetes.
Cheers.
See you guys in another review.